Hey, Joe here with Aegis Tactical. Today we're going to talk about what's the difference between a single action and double action pistol, and a few other ones in there as well. We had a lot of questions this past weekend, and we're going to try to answer for everybody now, keeping it as simple as possible. First off, what do they mean when they say double action, single action? That's when you press the trigger, what's actually happening. With a single action pistol or revolver, when you press the trigger, it does one thing. It pretty much just drops the hammer, makes the hammer fall, makes the gun go bang. That's it. With a double action, it's when you press the trigger, it's cocking the hammer, and then releases the hammer. So again, as you're pressing it, it cocks the hammer, then releases it, makes it fall, drop, whatever you want to call it, make the gun go bang. So let's start off with the single action revolvers. Double check to make sure this is unloaded. Now first off, if you want to fire this gun, you must pull the hammer back. If you want to just press the trigger now, it's not going to do anything. The hammer must be pulled back, just like this, put it in the cocked position, then you can press the trigger and release it. Pretty cool, right? But let's say you wanted to fire it again. Yes, you have to pull the hammer back again to press the trigger to release it. Remember the old West movies when they're sitting there, John Wayne and all that doing this? That's the kind of gun. It's a single action gun. These are a blast to shoot. There's fun. There's all kinds of competitions and leagues out there for them. They're fun. The trigger is so crisp, light, smooth, because there's nothing there. It's great. For a concealed carry gun, I really wouldn't recommend this. Now, let's say we jump into a single action pistol. I'm going to grab this 1911 here. It's unloaded. Again, if you want to just press the trigger on this gun, it's not going to do anything. The hammer must be in the cocked position. Pretty simple. Then when you press the trigger, again, it's a very short, crisp trigger pull, and it goes bang. It's that simple. The difference between the revolver and the semi-automatic in the single action, though, the semi-automatic, as you press the trigger and the gun goes bang, it's automatically going to cycle itself. And it cocks the hammer for you, so it's self-cocking. Pretty interesting. Even when you go to load this gun for the first time, you'd put your magazine in, you rack the gun, then, drop your magazine, put the fresh one in, put it back in. The gun is already cocked for you. So then you would carry it with the safety on. Again, 1911s have two safeties on them. Beaver tail safety, then they have the manual safety right here. So that's a single action pistol. Now let's talk about a double action pistol and or revolver. Here we go, the basic Taurus 85 revolver. Double check again. What's it mean by double action? Again, when I press the trigger, if you know this, it cocks the hammer, then releases the hammer. That's very simple. Double action revolver. You can also take this and put it in a single action mode by cocking the hammer manually, like that. Then again, you get that really nice, short, crisp trigger pull. Now, when you're pressing the trigger on this, when it's in the double action mode, it's a long, drawn-out trigger. It's up there in the weight. I mean, that's well over 10 pounds to press that trigger. But still, very popular gun, great little gun. Now, let's say we're going to jump up into the double action, single action pistols. Here's a Sig Sauer. It's a P226, the MK25 edition. Now, this gun, again, double check, it's unloaded. If you go to press the trigger for the first time, it's going to cock the hammer, then it's going to release the hammer. Now again, what the difference between the pistol and the revolver is going to be, when the slide goes back, after you press the trigger, the spent casing comes out, fresh cartridge goes in, it automatically locks the hammer to the rear for you. It's self-cocking. Then when you go to press the trigger, it's a really short reset, and it's a really light, crisp pull after that. Pretty simple, right? These guns also have a decocker on them. So if you're going to carry the gun, put it back in your holster or something like that, you don't want to put it in single action mode back in your holster, you just hit the decocker. Again, this is a double action, single action pistol. Now they have what's called a double action only. Now this goes into a whole new ball game. If it has a hammer like this and you can't cock it or anything like that, it's going to be double action only. You press the trigger, it's that long trigger pull every single time because it's going to be cocking the hammer, then releasing the hammer. They have double action only revolvers, and most of them that you're going to see are going to have the hammerless or the hidden hammers on there on the revolvers. So you would not see this part. There's nothing to grab to put it in single action mode. So it's going to have that long, drawn out trigger pull every single time. Now let's go over striker fire pistols. Here's a Glock 19. Let's double check to make sure it's unloaded. Now, if you know this on the Glocks, there's no hammer, there's no anything. A couple other guns out there like this, well, a lot of them out there like this now. Glock and the SIG 320 are probably the most popular ones right now. There's no hammer. So there's actually just a striker in there. It's like an internal slingshot, let's say. And there, as you're pressing the trigger, it's pulling back that slingshot, then eventually it's going to release the slingshot. Just like, I don't know if you can hear this or not. I'm slowly pressing the trigger. That would be the bang. When it cycles all by itself, you slowly release the trigger, you hit the reset, you can press it again. Everything is internal. It's the same trigger pull every single time. Glocks come with a standard, I think, 5.5 pound trigger pull. This one actually has a CMC trigger in it. It's a 3.5 pound trigger pull on this one. But it's consistent. Every single time, it's the same pull. A lot of people like that now. That's probably the most popular configuration. Some people will call these double action only. I'm not going to say they're incorrect, but it really determines the interior, what kind of gun it is, and what's actually happening inside. You know, with the Glock, it's actually, again, think of it as a slingshot. It's pulling the striker back, pulling the slingshot back, then it's releasing it. Hopefully this kind of answered your question. I tried to keep it short and simple. If you have any more questions, stop in and see us. We're right here at 5103 Lee the Road in Lakewood Ranch, Florida. Check us out online at aegisguns.com. That's AEGIS guns.com. Always check us out on Facebook at Aegis Tactical. And listen, folks, if you're getting our emails, great. Keep checking them out every week. If you're not getting them and you've signed up for them, check your junk email folder. If you haven't signed up for them, you're not getting them at all, jump on our Facebook page, sign up for the email, jump on our website, sign up for the email, or just stop by the shop. We're going to be starting to do a lot of the coupon codes and everything else just through our email. So to get the great deals, you have to be on the email list. Folks, have a great week. We hope to see you soon. And if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to ask.